Where do our thoughts come from? From here, from there, from all around, from information sources that get their information from other information sources that can neither be confirmed nor denied nor verified, yet somehow those information sources start to influence our ways of thinking because we're exposing ourselves to information sources that are secondhand, third hand, fourth hand, and 10,000 hands away from the actual experience, and probably an opinion of somebody who had an opinion from somebody who thought that they knew the thing that happened because they had some biased opinion about the thing that happened. So how do we observe the ways that our thoughts are forming? Where do they come from? One thought leads to another, and from that thought we go to another thought, and so forth and so on. And because those thoughts become our identity, we base our identity based on these chains of thoughts. Now, these chains of thoughts can be the anchor that holds us down to a value system that can create mass and abundant amounts of value in our lives, but most likely they're probably a chain that's holding you bound to somebody else's ideology so that they can use your energy to profit from. And in order to get free from these psychological prisons, we have to start to trace our thoughts back to their sources and really understand and analyze and criticize where our sources of information are coming from, so that we don't become the subjects of some spellcaster casting a spell in order to hold us beholden to their ideologies, to their agendas, and we're not even aware of it. And because those ideologies become our identities, we don't even question these thought forms, and we're so far down this chain of thinking, and we're so accustomed to being bound by these chains that we think that that's a normal way of living. So once we start to analyze our thinking and start to trace back where our thoughts are coming from, then we can start to see the sources of information. And when we can start to see how these chains are either binding us, or these chains are actually a tool that we're using to further our own pursuit of happiness, our own pursuit of a life experience that we desire. So through the observation of these chains, we start to see the psychological prisons yet again. And these psychological prisons exist in every walk of life. And the majority of us, I would say everybody I've ever met, has been subjected to psychological prisons because we're being exposed to information that can be neither confirmed nor denied. And in that, we become complacent to those ideas, and we take those ideas into our own chains, and they become links in the chain of thinking, and without question, they become part of our identity. And that identity isn't true, and it isn't false, but it's not our identity. It's an idea that some spellcaster intentionally put into our minds to hold us down and hold us bound to their way of thinking so that we can serve them. Now, we should always be observing where our thoughts come from, observing the thoughts that we have. We should find the full and broadest perception that we can have of each idea so that we can make those ideas the strongest link in our chains that we can, and have actual intelligence instead of just propaganda that's influencing us, but we can have intelligence that we can use in order to make better decisions in our lives. In my new book, Escape Plan, I talk about the ways in which our thinking is the greatest psychological prison that any of us are ever going to experience. We are imprisoned by chains of thoughts that we cannot see, and unless we start to look for them, we will never observe. Through a series of thought experiments, journaling exercises, and other exercises, I've discovered and experimented with various ways that we can start to get free from these psychological prisons and have the optimal life experience and really discover happiness and freedom of thought. Check out the Escape Plan book. It's available on my website. At the link above or below, it comes with 2 Prison Flex pens, 2 Prison Flex pens, and another journal for you to do these explorations with, so that we all, as many of us can free our minds and actually work to expand human consciousness instead of being confined to these ideas and ideologies of these very few and elite spellcasters who have captured the vast majority of minds on Earth. I hope to see you all out there and hope to see you free.